How are you guys not scared? For your friends that are undocumented, for your parents, for your siblings, for your family. How does that not bother you? How?
You can't just blame Latino voters. Like, yes, the fuck I can. And I say that with my immigrant ass passport, okay?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube space. Of course, I'm doing it the African way every day, every time. Now, Latino people or Latinos are learning it the hard way after voting for Trump against all odds. That people thought that they will vote against Trump, but they went forward and voted for Trump. And even I've seen comments, people say maybe they are doing it jokingly. They are just joking with their votes. And that's the beauty of knowing or knowing where to vote. The beauty of you listening to the whatever the presidential or president aspirant is saying, listening to his or her agendas, listening to his, what you want to do for the people. We call what? It is the beauty of being focused on his agendas or his manifesto, because from that's where you will get to know who is the right leader. So I think let's watch the videos of Latinos. Some of them are just crying out like publicly on the social media of TikTok. I love TikTok. It's giving me some, when I go to TikTok, I see these clips of Latino people, some white people crying after voting for Trump. I don't know. Let's watch these clips and then we will come back and talk about it.
They're coming together to do something about this. It's called voting. And that happened a couple of months ago on November 5th. And you still decided to walk your Latina ass up in that voting booth and vote for a man that repeatedly told you that he was coming for you to deport you. And at this point, more than anything, I want you to get exactly what you voted for. I want you to feel the powerful consequences of your vote. If they do take your grandma and your grandpa, I want you to know that you did that to them. They got taken away because of you. And for the rest of us as a community, we can never let MAGA voters like her forget how damaging their vote was. We need to constantly remind them. Never let them forget. As far as us getting together to do something about it, I will never in my life trust a Latino for Trump. You're a danger to yourself, you're a danger to your family, and you're a danger to your community. And I want nothing to do with you, and I don't feel sorry for you.
If you promised his word, why are you crying? You shouldn't be shocked, because the promise he made was mass deportation. This is an article from November of 2023 that outlined the Trump administration's plans should they get a second term. They talked about building expansive camps, sprawling detention centers to hold migrants, something that seems to be already underway in Texas. They talked about limiting or completely eliminating the acceptance of asylum seekers or refugees, something that they've already moved towards doing with the elimination of CBP-1 and an attempt to return back to the Remain in Mexico policy, as well as moving to remove temporary protective status from various Latin American immigrants. They talked about returning to the Eisenhower model, which, if you don't know what this is a reference to the 1950s Operation Wetback, which was an attempt to remove undocumented immigrants from the United States that also led to the deportation of U.S. citizens. They talked about not just mobilizing ICE and the Border Patrol, but also deputizing other federal agents, for example, the DEA or the ATF, and giving them deportation powers, which recently is something they've already moved to do. Not to mention that they also talked about using the military to help in these mass deportation efforts, which, guess what? They're already moving to do that as well. So why are you crying, Myra? What's with the crocodile tears? This is exactly what you voted for. He told you he was going to do this, and you voted for him anyway. And now you want to sit there and cry about, oh, my people. You didn't give a shit about your people. You actively voted against our best interest. And it really shouldn't have come as a shock, because 2023 wasn't the first time that people were talking about this. That was an article from the New York Times. Here's an article that I wrote titled "If Trump Wins in 2020, where I outlined the exact same things, because these things have been in the works for the Trump administration as far back as 2020, when they were trying to get a second term then. This includes ending birthright citizenship, which I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but they're trying to do that now as well. And it's not like they've been quiet about this. They've been loud. They're proud about it. So how is it that you don't know? You said you trusted his word. Clearly you were listening, right? If you trusted his word. And you voted for him anyway. You saw people at his rallies holding these signs, and now you're sitting there crying because they're implementing mass deportations the way they told you they were going to do, the way they said they wanted to do, that they've been saying it as far back as 2020. And then you're going to sit there in another video talking about how you don't care because you're going to stand up for your Latino community. Sit down. You already failed us.
How are you guys not scared? For your friends that are undocumented, for your parents, for your siblings, for your family. How does that not bother you? How? Just tell me how. How could you walk up there and vote for him after everything he said he was going to do? You think just because you were born here, you're not gonna go through it? He doesn't like you. When are you gonna understand that? Oh my god. Like, it's so scary. It's so scary to know that just at any given moment, you can just be separated from your family. And there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Because it's the law. Or even you.
Oh, you can't just blame Latino voters. Like, yes, the fuck I can. And I say that with my immigrant ass passport, okay? Yes, you can blame the campaign. Yes, you can blame the party. But at the end of the day, there's this little thing called personal accountability. In 2016, I was a little bit more lenient because, okay, people just don't know. They don't understand the consequences. But we lived through that presidency. What I'm hearing now, even from immigrants, undocumented immigrants, because yes, if you have TPS, if you had DACA, you're still undocumented under federal law. Oh, it wasn't that bad under Trump. Oh, Trump's not gonna do anything. Oh, he didn't do anything last time. Oh, yes, he didn't. He tried. The only thing that stopped him was a full resistance movement that filed lawsuits for every single one of his executive orders. What really gets me is that a lot of people who have undocumented family or themselves are undocumented will ultimately need the help of other people who told y'all, don't let this man back in office. Relying on people like myself who have been doing immigration advocacy for years, it generally makes me not want to do this shit anymore. Like, next year, a lot of us are going to be helping people that couldn't even help themselves by voting for their best interest. You know where gas really going to be cheap? In fucking Mexico, yeah.
She followed up with this picture post of her looking distraught. And she puts up at the top, when my grandma woke me up, she said, just in case if ICE takes me, make sure you don't go down the wrong path and make sure you keep family together. And my grandpa texted me saying, if ICE shows up at my work, take care of your family and don't go the path I took, mija. Los amo a todos. Los amos a todos means I love you all. I know she wasn't talking to the black community when she said that we have to unite. She's talking to the Hispanic community because they do need to unite. Black people tried to tell them before the election. So I know they can't be talking. She can't be talking to black people. This is what we mean when we say that you vote against your own interests. I don't know what it is that you heard that made you think voting for Donald Trump was going to make you safe, because what I heard all throughout the campaign season, I heard Donald Trump repeatedly saying that there will be mass deportations and they will be bloody. And then towards the end of the campaign season, he and Stephen Miller kicked it up a notch and said that the mass deportations would include overturning birthright citizenship. And then they told you that they would get rid of the entire family. They were going after DACA recipients. They told you this before you went into the voting booth to vote against your interest and your family's interest. When you went into the voting booth and voted for Donald Trump, you voted for him to deport your family. These are the consequences of your actions.
And to the Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope your coupons don't work at the grocery store. I hope that every time you want to hire somebody to do a service, they charge you American prices. I hope the next time you're at a country club, somebody tells you their drink order or tells you that the bathroom's dirty and you should take a look at it. I hope the next time you go to the grocery store, you think that this line's going to be quicker, but no, it's actually this line. And then you move to this line and then it's actually not quicker. I hope that people assume you're your kid's nanny.
I hope that you get randomly selected at the airport when you're a little late for your flight.
I hope that when you go through agricultura on the way back to the United States from being home, that somebody somehow put a pesky, unauthorized piece of fruit in your bag. Oh my gosh. I hope that someone staying in your house drinks all of your tequila and replaces it with water. I hope that every time you turn on your car, it blasts country music. I hope that you're hungry and the only place that's available to eat forever and ever on road trips is the Cracker Barrel.
I can't believe that the Latinos voted for Trump. I can. I believe it 100%. Girl, y'all have to stop acting like it is just Cubans that are racist and conservative in the Latino community. Coming from a Colombian girl. Look at the politics of Colombia. Yes, I know our president is like more left-leaning this time and very progressive. But, girl, look at the politics and the history. Look at their stances on abortion. I know she's decriminalized. However, that just means that you can't go to jail if you get an abortion, okay? Or if you're a doctor that conducts an abortion. That does not fucking mean that it is socially accepted. Turn on Telemundo. You tell me how many people of color you see on Telemundo. You tell me how many brown and black people you see on that show. Tell me if they're casting. Turn on Caracol. Tell me how many people of color you see on there. Like, I don't want to hear it that we're this progressive community. We're not. So yeah, I 100% believe it. And for all of these freaking people who are Latinos that voted for Trump, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. He doesn't like you. He never liked you. And he's never gonna respect you. And if y'all weren't born here, he's gonna try and find a way to get you deported. So congratulations.
You know, I've never been more embarrassed and more disappointed in the Latin community for even voting or thinking of voting for Trump. Voting against your own self-interest is counterproductive. It's insane to me. Like, y'all don't make no sense. What's not clicking? And let's be very serious. Latinos voted for Trump because they want to be as close to whiteness as possible. It's because they are anti-black. It's because of the internalized racism. It's because of the pure not even internalized, it's for the outward racism. That's really mainly what it was. And let's not forget the misogyny of it all. Let's not forget that, because one thing a Latina woman is gonna do is gonna put her man, her son, and any male figure in the Latin community up on a pedestal with ease. And that's exactly what the Latino men thrive on. The women always putting them up on a pedestal. And that's really the sad part about it, because there is no reason why they should have been voting for Trump at all. I'm disappointed today, and I'm just so disappointed.
60% of Latinos voted for Trump in this election. And to think that my vote was going towards protecting my people. The fact that I was absolutely horrified at the thought of Trump becoming president because of the effects that it will have on our people. I voted for those Latinos that don't have a voice in this country. For the Latinos that are the backbone of this country and don't receive shit. I voted for the Latinos that have been nothing but good people in this country, paying taxes and have no criminal records. Only to find out that it's our own people turning against us. I am truly disgusted.
Welcome back. Now, I know the cry of Latinos does not concern me, but I'm here to say that black people should learn from this, or Africa should learn from this. You know, every situation that comes on my way, I tend to align it with black people or with Africa, because Africa people suffer the same fate of voting the wrong people in power. Africa people suffer the same fate of not listening to the agenda of the person. Maybe someone is saying he will kill both of you after he takes power, and you are there clapping and saying, yo. Or maybe the opposite person or the other aspirant is not, you don't like him or her. Maybe you don't want to vote for a lady, or you don't want to vote for someone from this tribe. So you will just end up voting even for the bad person simply because you don't like the other person. In Africa, for example, in Kenya, we say we voted for this because we didn't have any other option. Some of the people who voted for Ruto are complaining, saying that we voted for Ruto because the option that we were given, we didn't love it. And when you ask them, why didn't you love the option, they will have these tribal sentiments, So Latinos, they are learning it the hard way, very hard way. And the reason why they are learning the hard way, or they are out here, the reason why Latinos are crying out here is because the policies that Donald Trump has kept is affecting them. And one of the policies is deportation. We talked about this on my previous video, immigration policies. Now, Trump administration actions against undocumented immigrants, leading to widespread protest in cities with significant Hispanic population, Black people, or African immigrants. A lot of people who are they are being deported, they don't have documented documents or legal documents. So this is affecting a lot of Hispanic people. Okay, so that's affecting them. It's affecting families. The people are crying because they are their family members are taken away, and they can't do anything because it's now policy, and you voted for him. You did. And before you voted for him, a lot of people are saying, don't vote because this will affect you. And you are there because it's like the option they have given us of this lady is not for us. We don't like him, or we don't love the party she is coming from. And now you are suffering here. You go suffer for 4 years because you placed your vote wrongly. Okay? Another thing that is making Latinos to suffer on this is because the offensive remarks. Now, when we say offensive remarks, for example, one incident was such as derogatory comments about Puerto Rico, where it was referred as an island of garbage. Now, have alienated many Latino supporters following such remarks. Some attempted to retract their votes only to find it was too late. No? Another thing is economic dissolution. Another thing is about economic. Now, while some Latinos voters were drawn to Trump economic promises, particularly regarding to job creation and business opportunities, many have felt that this benefit did not materialize for their communities. This economic dissatisfaction has led to feelings of betrayal among former supporters. Now, some supporters voted for Trump because of his promises on economic something, job creation and blah, blah, blah. But they feel like, this is not for our our community. So they feel betrayed. And a lot of these factors has contributed to a great sense and regret among Latinos people. And I just want to align this with African people. Allow me to go aside a little bit and address my Black people. Black people, I'm talking about Black people from Africa and from Caribbean, and even from America, the African Americans. Now, we suffer as Black people because we vote for the wrong leaders. And voting for the wrong leaders has led to poverty upon poverty upon poverty among Black people, among Africa. We are voting for people who are not, or they don't have our own interest. Now, for example, we are voting due to tribal, that this guy is from my tribe. And yet, when he goes there, he doesn't think about even your tribe and about other people. So you are just voting for the wrong person because he is from your tribe. Or you are just voting for the wrong person simply because the other option, you don't like him. You don't just like him. So, and this guy is bad. Personally, as I say always, I don't hate Donald Trump because there's some of the policies he has kept, and I'm happy for it. One of them is just signed that transgender people or transgender, they don't compete in women's race. And it's just common sense because he or she has extra energy more than this lady. So whenever they compete there, it's automatically that they will win. You saw the fight between one boxer from Kenya and one transgender, I think it's from where? The Kenyan boxer was destroyed by this lady or man, you know, because she was a transgender. So one of the thing, another thing is about having only two genders, a boy and a girl. I love it. That is the policies of Donald Trump. And his retraction of military bases from Africa and, you know, removing himself from World Health Organization shows that he knows something about USAID, you know, canceling USAID, saying they are criminals. He knows something about this. So as far as black people or Africans are not happy with the Trump, but his actions is just openly, not like others pretending that they are helping you and yet they are exploiting you. You know, once Trump come to Africa, we know what he wants, because if you don't love me and you have come to me, you need my help. One-on-one, just direct. The other, governments is like, they were like, we were helping you, you know, we are good guys. But deep down, they are mistreating, they are exploiting and stealing from you. So the beauty of voting right, the beauty of voting with brains, the beauty of voting after you have analyzed this guy is that you will find the guy you love. You will vote for the right person for you. Just don't vote because my community doesn't like you. So you are voting against a person that you know this guy will ruin your life and you're still doing it. Now Latinos are crying out here loudly in the social media. And there is nothing we can do about it. There is nothing you can do about it. Waiting for 4 years and then you go back to the ballot box. So my black people, watch out. This is a wake-up call. It's an example of what can happen to you if you vote without brains. Yeah, this video is about Latinos, but I've just used it as an example to my black family, to my Africans. When you are going to vote, yeah, manifestos, agendas, and don't vote if you know this person has a history of criminal, a history of corruption, a history of... Don't vote. You went and voted for Ruto. Now you all crying. Yeah, you hear me? Tell me what you think on the comment section about this video. Latinos, it's a wake-up call, but we have next time. You just have to wait and chill. Until next episode, peace be with you.